Okay, can you guys hear me okay? How are we doing with the audio? Can you hear me? Hello, hello, hello. How we doing, everybody? We're about to get a workout on. Gonna get our workout on right now. Okay. Thanks for coming, everyone. We're gonna get pretty much total body today. Today's my birthday, so thank you so much for hanging out with me. It's so much fun for me to be here and just be connected with you all. So thank you so much for coming. Matt Diaz, peace be with you today, brother. Brother, peace of enlightenment. Find your heart and mind. Dude, that's very nice. Thank you, Matt. Glad to hear it. Peace to you as well. Thank you so much for the blessings. Thank you so much. All right, guys. So, welcome. Today is Thursday. So, yesterday yesterday was kind of just a running day. I was recovering from a hard workout the day before. Let my muscles relax and did a good cardio run. Happy birthday. Thank you so much. Thank you, Izzy. Thank you, Izzy. So glad to have you. So today I'm good and healed up. I'm feeling recovered, and so I'm gonna let's get that strength going again. So I'm on a roll this week. I'm really feeling like I've got some good consistency. So I'm gonna be using my Power Block adjustable dumbbells for this workout, and let's see if we can get through at least. We're gonna do at least maybe 5 to 10 moves. I'm gonna go for 2 to 3 sets, and yeah, we're basically going to get the whole body. So thank you so much for coming. Really great to have everyone. All right. Let's get some good moves today. I'm going to get some good functional moves today. And I'm going to warm up first. So just for my warm up, I'm going to get some compound moves going here. I'm going to go light. I'm going to go slow. But I'm going to get a lot of body parts in this warm up. So basically, I've got some lightweight. I'm going to go for a deadlift, overhand curl to a modified overhead press. I'm not going to go up all the way. And I'm just going to move through this on the slower side to get all those muscles I'm going to be working harder pretty soon good and warmed up. So thank you so much again for everyone for being here. It's a lot of fun for me to be with you on my birthday. And yeah, really appreciate it. Hope you all are having a great day. Many blessings to you as well. Okay, I'm going to do just a few here. And I'm going to do about 2 more. And guys, I don't know about you, but I think summer birthdays are a lot of fun. Summer reminds me of like school getting out, and then you've got all that freedom for a few months to do what you like and have fun. And then, I have memories of my birthday being, during summer break, and it's just for me, it's a great time overall. So really happy to be here with you. Okay, so we've got our first one. Let's go to the next one here. Again, just getting warmed up. I'm going to put together some legs, some arms on this one. So I'm just going right foot back. I'm going right hand into a curl. And again, I'm just kind of easing into this strength workout as I'm going to get some real burn going later on. So getting ready for that. Yes. So let's keep it going. Who else has summer birthdays? Summer birthdays are great. We love our winter birthday people too. Winter could be kind of nice too. All right. I'm going to do one more on this side, and then I'll go for the other. I'm going to get both sides. So I'm really just feeling this one out. I'm not going on a strict time or reps on this one. I'm just warming up. So I'm just getting my body ready. I'm pretty used to kind of feeling out my warm up I can tell when my body's ready. I can tell when my heart rate is good and elevated and ready for more. So that's what I'm doing right now. I can feel my legs working. Easy into that. I'm gonna get heavy on the legs later for sure. All right, and I'll do one more on this side. And I'll pause right here. Okay, I'm gonna get warmed up with the core here. So I'm gonna keep my light weight. I've got one leg elevated, my foot is sideways. I'm gonna try to do is get my shoulders and my core with this one. So I'm gonna hinge forward with a little bit of lean here. I'm kind of aiming towards the outside of my leg. I come up, I point straight forward, and I can feel, I can feel even my hips, the side of my leg working as well. That's why I really like this one for warming up sometimes, because it's low impact, it's really no impact. That's what it feels like to me. And I can get a lot of muscles going, so I can get my heart rate up without stressing out any one particular muscle too much. So I feel like it's kind of a good, well-rounded move to get everything ready. And I'm going to do one more on this side, and I'll switch, okay? So, other side. Got my foot elevated, keep my leg mostly straight. My foot is sideways. I'm aiming towards the outside of my leg. I come up, and I'm going to move slowly through this side as well. All right, this is feeling good so far. We're going to do just about 3 more. Smooth and slow. While my heart rate is coming up, and that's what I want. I want my body to be good and ready for some heavier strength stuff very soon. And we're going to do a lot of moves today. Okay. All right, I'll do a quick body weight sequence here. I'm just going to get nice and low. I'm going to go for touchdown. One hand on the inside, one hand on the outside. Stay nice and tall. I'm just going to get my legs a little bit more warmed up, so I'm nice and ready to get those legs going too. So in a moment, I'm going to do about 2 or 3 sets of 2 moves at a time. I'm going to alternate between the 2, and you're going to hear a beeper. I'm going to use the timer for this workout to keep me on track. Okay, so I'm not counting reps, I'm going with time, I'm going with tempo. My tempo today is going to be a moderate pace. What that means is, for me, I feel like I'm moving not too slow, not too fast, somewhere in the middle, into a moderate pace, okay? And that's going to bring me into my rep range for about that hypertrophy rep range. There's going to be elements of stability in this workout. There's going to be elements of hypertrophy, strength training, things like that. Okay, so we're really going to do it all, okay? So, I'm going to grab my timer, and again, so I'm going to set about 40 seconds of work, and I'm going to set about 20 seconds of rest, alternating between 2 moves, okay? So it's not going to be a circuit. We're not going to do peripheral heart training or heart action or anything like that. We're going to do not a traditional circuit either. This is going to be kind of like supersets. I'm going to take 2 at a time, and then I go to the next 2 at a time. So it's kind of going to be a blend of circuit training mixed with horizontal loading or traditional strength training. Okay, so all right, so let me get my work. Forget what I'm doing here. I have, where are we at? There we go. All right, so I'm going to alternate squats with a side bend. Okay, so for my squat, my first 40 seconds, I'm not going to go too heavy. First 40 seconds, I'm going to squat, and then we get a side bend after that. First 40 seconds, 3, 2, 1. All right, here I go. Right into the squat. Now, I am kind of going for total body today. I'm a little bit sore from my leg workout a couple days ago, and that's fine. I can handle a normal workout I'm just going to push through a little soreness. It actually feels pretty good already. And you might see me on my second or third set, I might pick up the weight a little bit. But for now, still kind of transitioning out of my warm-up. So not going the heaviest quite yet. Gradual processes, that's how we know, well, that's how I know I'm ready for the next step. Okay, so that's about 20 seconds rest. In the meantime, I'm going to change my weight. I'm going to go about 30 pounds for my side bend. And when I hear that beep on my beeper here, I'm going 40 seconds on one side. And 3, 2, 1. Here I go. So I'm just going to get as much as I can with this weight. Again, I'm not going as heavy as I can yet, but this should be enough. This should be enough to get some burn on that lateral side. And this is set 1 of my first superset. Okay, so basically 2 moves at a time. That's how we're going to do this today. Working in pairs and supersets today. And I got about 10 seconds on this side. I'll rest for 20, and then we go back to that squat. This should be a pretty good all-around workout. I actually do like these moves a lot. All right, so that's 20 seconds rest. It's not a lot, just enough to get ready for my first move again. Now I'm going to go a little heavier since I feel pretty good, feel pretty warmed up. I'm going to do 230s for this one. Squat again. And there's the beep. So here we go. We got 40 seconds. I'm just going to do as many as I can. We have, there's 9 moves on the list. Will I get through all of them? We'll see. We'll see how long this workout takes. I'm not going to work out longer than an hour today because I do want to get outside and enjoy some outdoors after this. Maybe go for a little jog after that. It is pretty hot, so I'm probably not going to jog. I'll probably just walk. But we're going to get a good strength workout in the meantime. I've got a few seconds on this squat. And that's our beep to rest. 20 seconds. And I'm going to go heavier on my side bend in a moment here. All right. So very soon, I'm going to get that other side. I'm going to go a little heavier. In 3 seconds. In 2, 1, here we go. Same muscle, other side, a little heavier. As I kind of get my second wind, getting into this workout, I'll be able to get a little bit more intense as I go. I'm going to keep myself cool with some cold water. I've got the AC going too. It is very hot where I am, but that's not going to stop me. I'm just going to keep cool as best I can. My shirt, by the way, is already wet from before the workout. I put water on it to keep me cool. Not sweating yet. This is all water so far, but I certainly will be very soon. All right, I'm gonna do a few more, and there's the beep, so I rest there. Okay, now I want to get 2 sides for those obliques, so I am going to do one more round of that pair in a moment. So I'm going to reset my timer. Not all these moves are going to be one side at a time. The other pairs are going to go by a little quicker. Okay, just a few seconds. I'm going to go for a little heavier now on my squat. Let's try 40 pounds in 3, 2, 1. Again, I'm just using the weight that feels comfortable for me, guys. Everyone's going to use the weight that they want if they do a workout like this. This is just what I like for today. All right, 40 seconds on this squat. One more time. And then I'm going to do both sides back to back on that side bend. So that'll give me a solid 3 sets for this pair. All right, this is getting intense. Heart rate is getting up there. Legs are feeling it, but I'm feeling good, so I'm going to keep going. And that's my rest there, about 20 seconds rest. I'm going to do a very short water break while I reset my timer. Okay, timer's reset so I can do both sides of that side bend again. I'm going to start on my right side since I ended with that side before. 40 seconds, I'm going much heavier. Let's see if I can do 50 pounds on this side. 40 seconds, here we go. All right. Now I really love this move. I do this one all the time. If you've been with me on a workout before where I do my own workout, this is very often in there because I really can overload my obliques. With a weight, standing is very easy to get in position. I don't have to be on the ground for a side plank. Side planks are amazing too. I like those too. But if I want to get obliques, I just tend to like this one. This one's a lot of fun for me. All right. 2, 1. Whew. I'm going to rest just about 20 seconds before I get that other side. I do like some dynamic moving side planks too. Those are a lot of fun too. All right, 3, 2, 1, 40 seconds on the other side. And if you notice, I'm just kind of tucking my other hand away. Sometimes I like it in the front or the back, doesn't really matter. I'm just making sure I'm not using that arm for anything else, and I'm also using my trunk to stabilize, okay? I am depending on a little bit of balance and stabilization when I do this. If your balance isn't great, you might find even being on 2 feet a little bit hard to move this around. That's normal when we begin. But I'm used to this move, so I'm really just keeping that hand out of the way and getting as far as I feel comfortable going to the side here. That's what I'm working on. All right, that's a rest there. Okay, so we have our first pair down. We got 3 sets for our dumbbell squat, superset by the dumbbell side bend. Not really supersets. Supersets is usually minimal rest in between. I do have a strict 20 seconds rest in between. So again, we're not doing a very traditional superset or circuit style. We're kind of blending the two, okay? We have, next one, all right, so we've got some legs coming up. We have calf raises, followed by lunges. Might get just about probably 2 sets of those since there's gonna be more legs later. There's gonna be more upper body for sure after that. All right, so I'm gonna try 30 pounds per hand on this calf raise in 3, 2, 1. So before, if you were with me the other day, you might have seen me do this calf raise with a shoulder shrug. So bring my shoulders up with it. Now I'm not going to do that today. I'm going to let my shoulders relax because I got more upper body later. I'm going to put all of my energy, all of my effort into the calves. Okay? And I have a great friend who I worked with who is a physical therapist, and she showed me some awesome variations of the calf raise. So maybe one day I'll demonstrate my understanding of that. So I learned some cool stuff with that lately. So there's a lot of different ways to do that. All right, about 20 seconds rest. I'm going to lighten this up a bit. Since I'm going to do lunges, I'm going to be going one at a time, stepping backwards into a lunge, as many as I can for 40 seconds. Okay, let's see. Right. Now, here we go. Big steps backwards. I'm going to alternate my feet here. And again, I'll probably go a little heavier on the next set. Right now, I just want to feel like my form is good. Always form first, right? That's how we know we're working the muscles we intend to work. And the form is good. The movement is good. Form first, always. Okay. We'll do a few more. Should hear that beat pretty soon. And rest. That's 20 seconds rest. It's not a lot of rest before I come back to that calf raise. All right. I'm going to rest a little longer than 40 seconds here. Than 20 seconds. And I'm going to go a little bit heavier on my second set for my calf raise. All right, ready? Let's get ready. In 3, 2, 1. Calf raises again. Here we go. I'm just going to do as many as I can in 40 seconds. Whew. And see if I can really burn my calves out with this heavier weight here. By the way, I love Power Block dumbbells. That's what I'm using today. It's been a favorite of mine for very long. I've tried out so much different equipment throughout my personal training career, and I always come back to these. They're my favorite pieces of equipment that I find I can do most things with. No piece is perfect, of course, but these are really awesome. All right, that's 20 seconds rest. So I'll try to put a link in the description for these weights if I remember when I'm done. Okay, lunges are coming up. I'm gonna go a little bit heavier on the lunge too. A little bit more than I did the first time. It's not the same weight I just used on the calf raise, but it is a little bit heavier than my first time lunging. Okay, here I go. Big steps back. I feel like I could control the first set. So that's why I'm getting a little bit heavier. I'm challenging my muscles, and I know that I'll be able to do this in good form, in good control, at the tempo that I want, okay? So, yes, I am doing as many as I can in each move, but I'm trying not to go too fast, trying not to go too slow. I am aiming for a moderate tempo today. Okay, so I'm kind of doing both here. All right. Most important thing though is I just get those reps in. Okay, that's my rest. About 20 seconds rest, and then I'm going. One more time. My third set for the calf raise. All right, a little bit heavier. Here we go. Calf raises again, set 3. And they're already kind of burning from the last 2 that I did. Calf raise from before and even from the lunge. So that's kind of nice. I start off with that burn, and I can really push that feeling on this last set here, and that's what I'm looking for. I'm not looking to fail, I'm not looking to not be able to do any more within this 40 seconds, but I'm gonna approach failure today. Really go for that burn. That's gonna let me keep my form and still get a good workout. All right, that's 40 seconds on. I'm resting for 20. I'm gonna lighten my weights up a little bit for the lunge. And very soon, I'm gonna take big steps back. I grab my weight, and here we go, reverse lunges. By the way, these are reverse lunges. Sometimes I do forward lunges, sometimes I do side lunges. Lots of variations with lunges, but my default, my personal favorite, I like reverse lunges. They feel more comfortable to me, but also they're just easy for me to step into. Everyone's different, right? I've certainly done forward lunges more in my life, but lately I just like these better. And I think my favorite though is, that's a rest there. My favorite lunge is the kind where I can keep moving forward or keep moving backwards or keep moving sideways using the space of the room that I have, or if I'm outside, sometimes that's a little bit more fun for me to keep moving forward or backward or side to side. Not always staying in place, but that's great too. All right, right now I'm just in about a minute rest. Now this is a pretty tough kind of non-stop workout for me, but I do have about a minute of rest in between each pair. So we've got 2 pairs down so far. Okay, so I'm still in my rest, but let's go over our next pair. Now I'm going to get into the upper body part. We've gotten some core, we've gotten some lower. There's going to be a little bit more of that later. Next few are going to be for upper body. So we have 2. We have a bent over row. So I'm going to use some, probably not lightweight for that. So we have our bent over row, and then we have, after that, is going to be a Romanian deadlift. So these are going to be very similar in that they both utilize that hinge position. First one, I'm going to be staying here. Second one, I'm going to be moving throughout. So I'm probably going to feel all those hinging muscles work the whole time. So I may take little mini breaks to stand nice and tall and give my posterior a break sometimes within the set. Depends how heavy I go. All right, but I'm going to push myself either way. So we have the bent over row first. I'm going to go for 30 pounds per hand for now. Again, it's different every time. This is just what I feel like I can handle today. Everyone's different, but let's see if I can do that. We got 30 pounds, 40 seconds on our row. Here we go. And probably this first set, I'm not going to give myself much of a break in the middle of the set. I'm going to try to endure for the full 40 seconds, but if I go heavier and if I'm really burning after maybe the second set, I'll give myself little mini breaks. So far, I'm good. I'm going to keep going. I'm working on my arms here. Yes, my whole posterior is working from maintaining this position, but this is mainly for the biceps and for the lats. That's our pulling muscles in this position. Lots of muscles we can work with pulling, but in this position, those are our primary movers. Okay, 20 seconds rest. And then I'm going to go a little bit heavier for the Romanian deadlift. Since I'm kind of going back and forth into that position, I'll be able to handle a little bit more weight. That's going to be right here. Whew. All right, here we go. So this is just going to be a hinge. I'm not going to squat, and I'm not going to go down all the way either. I have just a very minimal slight bend in my knee, just to help me keep stable and hinge forward in good form. And I'm getting my whole posterior, my glutes are working too. And again, I'm trying to stick with my moderate tempo, not too fast, not too slow, and just do as many of those as I can within 40 seconds. And that's my rest. I'm going to put in a little bit longer of a rest between these two. Since they're so similar, I'll give those muscles a mini break. So I'm going to reset my timer. I'm just going to catch my breath. I'm not going to be too strict on the rest time on this one. But I am trying to keep myself moving. You'll see me kind of step back and forth. You might see me walk. I try not to stand still, especially when heart rate is elevated. Okay, so very soon I'm going to get back into that bent over dumbbell row. 40 seconds. In 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Back to our hinge position. Boom. Right up. Now, I am using a little bit heavier of a weight, so you might see me take a mini break within this 40-second set. But let's see. Let's see how long I can go in good form. It is heavier. I am a little bit more tired on this second set. So I'm going to take about a second or two break, and I come right back. That's my mini break right there. Not much at all. Just enough that I feel like I can maintain my form for the rest of the set. And still get a few reps in. All right. That's our row. About 20 seconds rest before we come back to that Romanian deadlift. My grip is feeling it, guys. It's just holding the weights. Oh my goodness. Okay. All right, I'm going to try. All right, let's stick with 40s. I'm going to stick with 40s for this one. All right. Back to my RDL, my Romanian deadlift. Again, not going all the way down. Just enough where I can feel like I've got a decent hinge. I stick my hips back. I keep my knees slightly bent the whole time. My arms stay straight. And I stand nice and tall in between each rep. I don't want to just move small and stay bent over. I want to get a bit of relief and relaxation between each set. You don't have to lean back per se, or I'm not really trying to do that. I may be doing that by accident, but just enough where I can stand nice and tall. All right. Whew. That's 2 sets there. We've got more than a few more for the arms, so I'm going to let that be for that pair. I'm good and done with my row and my deadlift. So right now, I'm going to take about a minute rest and get some water. Okay. Okay. Coming up on the next pair here, we have where are we at? Okay, bicep curls. Did these the other day. The only variation I'm going to do today is I'm not going to put in a rotation with my wrist. This is going to be a neutral grip. So basically this is a hammer curl. I'm not going to rotate this way. I'm going to keep neutral, straight up, just because I haven't done it that way in a while. I want to mix it up. So we have a hammer curl, and then we have a push-up. Now my space isn't great for push-ups or bench press or anything like that, so I'm going to figure out something for my chest, but I'll be able to do that before I'm done with the curl, hopefully. All right, so curls first. I'm going to try, let me see how I do with 20 pounds first. 40 seconds, medium speed. No twist, hammer curl. Here we go. 40 seconds, and I'll see if I can maybe pick up the weight a little bit more on the next set. I think I can. All right, so far so good. I should be able to maintain my form here. I'll turn a little sideways if you want to see. Just basically how I stand with this. Nothing special, but I am trying to keep my knee slightly bent. I'm not trying to swing or anything. If this was really heavy, maybe I might need to do something like that, but I don't want to rely on momentum with this curl today. I'm just going to rely on the bicep. So I'm trying to keep my trunk nice and stable, nice and still, and I rest for 20. All right, so far so good. All right, I'll get a modified push-up for the second one here. So I'll be using my desk. I'm going to go really wide on my feet. That's going to help me just make use of this smaller space here. And we'll do 40 seconds, as many as we can. All right, my hands are pretty close too, by the way. Now this isn't the hardest way to push. I could handle a little bit more. If I were to be on the floor, maybe. I don't think you'd be able to see me if I was there, but it'd be a lot harder. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up my tempo a little bit on this one. I'm going to ignore that moderate tempo just for this move so I can get a good burn with this angle, since my angle is pretty fixed. I'm not going to be able to change it much since I'm using the desk here. So I'm going to add a bit of speed and really burn chest, shoulders, triceps, and that's our rest right there. Okay, that's our round one for that pair. I'm gonna get a little bit more than 20 seconds rest because I feel it. Okay. All right. Now I'm gonna return to that same pair, back into my hammer curl. I'm going to pick up the weight a little bit more since I felt good on the first set. I'm going to challenge myself, go a little bit heavier on set 2 here. Okay, ready. Hammer curl again. Let me take a breath. In 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Straight up. Now this is a decent amount heavier than my first set. So I might need either a little bit of a break or a little bit of momentum, but I'm going to try not to do that unless I really need it, and just focus the effort on the biceps for as long as I can. So let's keep going. Try to get a few more. That's it, 40 seconds, nice. I made it. Weights come down, 20 seconds rest, and I'm coming back very soon into my push-up again. All right. Woo. All right. Ready. Here we go. Again, this is the one. I'm going a little bit faster than the others. I'm going for really just as many as I can at a faster speed, in good form. Remember, if we can't change weight, or if we can't change the angle at which we do a body weight exercise, what else can we do to change the intensity? We can change tempo or speed. We can decrease rest time. There's different things we can do, keeping in mind all of our training variables. To keep the effort up, that's our rest, by the way. To keep the effort up, making use with what we have, okay? There's always a way to change pretty much every exercise. All right, that I know about at least. All right, I'm gonna take a bit of a longer break, less than a minute, and then I'll get that pair one more time. Quick water. All right, my energy's pretty good, so I don't need too much more rest. Coming up very soon, I'm gonna relax my biceps a little bit, but coming up very soon into my hammer curl. One more time. All right, set 3 on this pair. And 3, I'm gonna use the same weights, by the way. 3, 2, 1, here I go. I'm gonna try not to swing. Keep my form on this one. It is tough. This is heavy for me already. So my focus is keeping my form, not swinging. Might do it a little bit just to help me get it up there at the last moment. Might let myself rest a little bit too. All right, keep going. Definitely feeling the biceps right now. I'm gonna do one more. That's our rest there. Okay, weights down. Push-ups are coming up again. Woo. We're getting close. This is gonna be the last pair, the last superset, and we'll do a quick finisher after that. Okay, ready. Feet wide, incline, here I go. Again, adding speed. I'm adding speed on this one because I feel like I can handle it, and that's how I'm gonna bring up the intensity without changing the angle. All right, here we go. 40 seconds. Almost there. Woo! Almost there. Come on, beeper. There it is. That was a long 40 seconds. Oh my goodness. Okay. All right. I have one more long break here to catch my breath, and I'll do one finisher. I'll add in one more move, a couple of sets. We'll see how that goes. Again, if you're here with me, thank you so much for being here. It's really a pleasure for me to hang out and work out with you. So thank you again for being here. If you like this kind of stuff, let me know. You can hit a follow, subscribe, like, whatever buttons you got going on around here, and that lets me know to do more stuff like this. All right, but I'm enjoying it either way. I love to work out, you guys. When you're there, when I have people with me, lots of fun. Okay, so I'm gonna put in one finisher. I'm gonna go 3 sets of one move. So that's gonna be basically, I'm gonna try to combine a lot of body parts for this finisher. I'm gonna try to get in a squat, shrug, curl, okay? This curl, I'll make it a little bit different since we did the hammer curl. I'm gonna do a regular curl. So basically what that's like is, I'm gonna do a modified squat. I'm not going down all the way. I squat, I shrug, come down, I curl, okay? 40 seconds of that, 2 to 3 sets, and that'll be our finish. So let's see how that goes. I'm gonna start with not the heaviest I think I can go, something a little bit less so I can just get the move down. All right, first set, here we go. So I'm gonna squat, shrug, and curl. All right, that's good so far. We squat, we shrug, we curl. All right, I like this one. Let's keep it. Here we go. Shrug, curl. I'm just doing as much as I can in this 40 seconds, maintaining that moderate tempo. Not too fast, not too slow. All right, a couple more. Okay, that's our beat for 40 seconds. I'm gonna rest for 20 before I do that at least one more time, because remember, my goal is 2 to 3 sets per exercise today. So if I get at least 2, that means I hit my mark. Okay, I'm going a little bit heavier. First set went well. I feel like I can challenge myself, so I'm going heavier. Here we go. Set 2. All right, so we have our squat, our shrug, our curl. All right, the curl is gonna be the hard part, especially since I just did the hammer curls before this. So you might see me struggle. I'm definitely struggling already. Woo! It's not so bad on the squat, not so bad on the shrug. Oh my gosh, biceps are feeling it though. I think we can do it. I think we can do it. Whew. This is gonna be a long 40 seconds. Oh, there it is. Thank goodness. That's 40 seconds on set 2. Woo! I just have one more 20-second rest before I'm gonna go for that set 3. Set 3. One more today. Make the most of this workout. Here we go. 2, 1. All right, one more time. Here I go. I'll stick with that same weight. So we have squat, shrug, curl. Oh my gosh. Okay, squat, shrug, curl. We squat, shrug. Now I'm really gonna try to push my effort because I know this is the last one. Use the last of my energy here to finish strong. All right. So keeping that in mind, I'm gonna try to really push. Here I go. Finishing strong. Last few seconds. I'll finish here, and that's our beep right there. Woo! All right. All right, that feels really good. Really good. Okay. So I'm just gonna move around a little bit. I am catching my heart rate, catching my breath. Sorry about the beeping here. Let me reset my timer. Now, this is when I like to go right into a stretch or some type of cool down for 5 to 10 minutes because I know I'm going to come back to homeostasis, come back to a normal heart rate. My muscles will be relaxed, but I want to get there gradually. So I'm not just going to stand or sit down. I am going to go right into some stretches that'll require a little bit more effort than just sitting still. That's a great time to work on flexibility, in my opinion. All right, so basically, we did our warm-up in a very similar position. We had foot elevated sideways. We got our obliques and shoulders in the warm-up, and that did challenge my flexibility in my leg and my hip. So that's why I'm going to do this one today. And what I'm going to do is just take my foot is sideways right now, and I'm going to turn it. So now my toes are facing the ceiling, and I can work on my hamstrings. Basically in the same stretch, just by changing the toe. And I'm just giving myself a gentle lean towards my foot. I'm going to reach forward my foot a little bit. I'll hold for a few more seconds. I'll bring that one back. So I'll go for the other side. Foot elevated. I'm using my couch. There's lots of things we can use for this. Foot sideways. I'm just going to give myself a gentle lean. Stretch all in here. Just for about 20 seconds. On each stretch. Okay, so I'm going to go for the hamstring stretch. So I turn my toes upward. I'll have to adjust my bottom foot too to do that. Now I'm going to reach gently towards my foot, and I can get that stretch in my hamstring here. And I'll hold for about 20 seconds. Okay. All right. So we did some arms as well. We did shoulders. We did biceps. We did lats. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to find a surface, just something up top here, and I'm going to sink between Oh, feels really good. Sink between my shoulders here, and I can feel everything stretching out in my shoulders and my lats. And sorry if you can't hear me right now. And I'll hold here about 20 seconds. I'm going to gently come up from here. All right, I'm going to get a different part of my posterior of the shoulders here. So I'm bringing one arm across. Feeling like I'm catching my breath. Still gradually getting back to normal while I hold this stretch. And I'll switch to the other side, nice and tight. Okay, I'm gonna pause the music. Don't need to pump myself up anymore. So I'm cooling down. Now I just like a little bit of peace and quiet. I'm gonna do a few more stretches, and I'll do this instead of statically. I'm just gonna stretch different parts of my hip and my trunk. And I'll move more dynamically in this one. I'll do about 3 rotations around. Just because I like the way this feels. This is one of my favorites. I feel like I can stretch out all the muscles that help me hinge forward. On the bent over row today, I'm going to switch sides, go the other direction. On the Romanian deadlift, just stretch everything out from there. We also got the hamstrings earlier. I could definitely stretch out my calves since we worked calves earlier on our calf raise. So I'm going to do that now. What I'll do is I'll come back to my surface I can lean on. I'll bring my feet back this time. I'm not going to go back all the way because I have furniture behind me, but basically I could increase that angle and really bring them far back if I want to. But I'll do enough where I can just kind of glue my floor and feel a little bit of a stretch. This kind of thing. Oh, let me show you this way. I'll do them one at a time. So you can see the other variation that I like. I'll do one at a time here. I'm just gluing my back heel to the floor instead of doing 2 at once. Since that angle is kind of helping me bring it farther back, I can just do 1 at a time. Get that stretch in my calf. Just for about 20 seconds. And I'll go over this way so you can see the other side. Let's see, I'll go right here. Should be able to see that. Okay. Again, I glue my heel to the floor. If I have the balance, I'm going to do my best to keep both feet pointed in the same direction. That's not easy for everybody, so I can always grab onto something to help me balance. Sometimes even when we stretch, we need to maintain our balance with some assistance, and that's certainly okay. We do what we can, right? As long as we do what we intend, and I'm definitely getting that stretch in that calf there. Now hold for a few more seconds. I'll stand nice and tall. And then just one, because I like this one. This feels good for me. Just for fun, I'm going to gently just lean to either side. And for me, this is kind of more of just like a meditative kind of thing. Something I like to end my workouts or my stretches with, since I feel really refreshed and energized and kind of clear and calm after my workouts. So this kind of just lets me enjoy that part. I'll do one more. And I'm feeling good and calm. Okay, thank you so much for joining me on this workout. Really nice having you. Again, if you'd like to join me again, feel free to follow, subscribe, like, all that stuff. Comment if there's things you'd like to see, or if you have questions for me or whatever, feel free to chime in the comments. And again, thank you so much for coming. Hope to see you on the next one. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you later.